Okay, so the foggy forest, Fanal Forest in Madeira, arguably one of the coolest places on the island, something that a lot of photographers come to. We're currently here now, as you can see, the boys are just currently flying the drone. I flew my FPV drone in here actually earlier on in the day, so I'll punch that on the screen now so you guys can see it. But the plan for today is, or this evening, the sun is just setting now, as you can see behind me here, but the plan for this evening is we're going to do some light painting and drone light painting during blue hour and during the night, and we've got this awesome conditions. It's super, like every now and then so much mist just comes in, so we're gonna get some really cool light painting. The drone just went past there. Yeah, we're gonna get some really cool light painting, and I'm gonna show you guys kind of my process and what it kind of looks like behind the scenes. But I hope you guys do enjoy the video, and if you do, make sure to give a thumbs up, and I appreciate all your support. So yeah, let's just get straight into the video. So that right there is a tree that I want to light paint, but these guys, they're everywhere. These guys are kind of, these guys have got other ideas, but I specifically want to paint this tree because it's really nicely isolated, and I think like a drone halo above that would be really cool from like quite a wide perspective. And I remember when I came here last year, we had a bit of an incident where we were trying to fly the drone and stuff, and it was at night as well, so we could barely see anything. There were just cows everywhere all around us, and we couldn't really tell what was going on. So I'm hoping these guys move on because they weren't here during the day. So that specific tree is what I want to do. But yeah, fingers crossed. And we're going to do it in blue hour. So yeah, it should look pretty sick. Okay, so thankfully our friends have cleared off and we have a huge amount of clouds coming in. So for the light painting, you will need a drone. This is the DJI Mavic PRO 1. The reason why I'm using this is because I can attach these clamps on it. You can't do that on the new ones like the Air and the Mini. So I've got the clamps, and I've got the two loom cues which go on the clamps. I've got spare batteries purely because this thing rinses through battery because of the weight. Obviously we've got the drone controller, and we have our tripod. So this is the Manfrotto B3 Advanced, the aluminium version. So that's a nice, stable and sturdy tripod. And obviously I'm currently shooting on the camera that I'm going to be taking the photos with. But this is the Sony a7 III, and make sure you use a wide angle lens as well, because we're going to be shooting upwards because we need that sort of halo. I don't really know what shape I'm going to be trying to create, but I think a halo would be sick. But yeah, that's pretty much your setup for the light painting. So, I don't know if you can see, but the mounts literally go on like that, either side of the drone, and then the loom cubes have a little thread at the bottom here, and they just simply screw onto the drone, and you just point them in the direction that you want the light. It's pretty simple. I usually do one pointing forwards and then one pointing down. The one pointing down really illuminates the subject really well, and the one pointing forwards kind of gives you that really strong beam. That's just what I found works for me. Obviously everyone does things differently, but I think that's a pretty solid way of doing it. Oh yeah, and the fog is literally rolling in perfectly right now behind me. I specifically set up early because I've done this so many times in the past before, where I've literally been rushing and I've got there at the time when I want to shoot, and it's really hard setting stuff up in the dark. So fingers crossed this time everything goes to plan. I feel like I've taken all the precautions necessary. Just gotta make sure we get a sick shot. Okay, I know it doesn't look like much, but this is going to be my frame here. So I've got the camera mounted really awkwardly on the tripod, a really low angle, kind of shooting through these bushes, and then I'm going to kind of have foreground on this side, maybe a subject here, and then we've got the tree, and then the halo above that. It should look pretty sick. I know it's questionable framing, but it's kind of just what I wanted to do. Something a bit different, really low angle. But yeah, fingers crossed it looks sick. I'm going to literally hit the drone up in a few seconds. But yeah, let's just do it. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see me, but we're going to fire up the drone now. It's definitely dark enough. So I'm going to put these loom cubes on, and I'm probably going to put them on 60%. See how that looks straight away? The conditions now look sick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, let's just take this off and let's just do this. Right. No idea if this is going to work, but it's literally just circling the tree now, cutting through that thick fog, and the camera's doing a long exposure. I think I've got it on a 13-second long exposure because it basically takes 13 seconds to do one circle, so that should be pretty good. This is unreal. Yeah, so just landed the drone, put in an absolute shift. You can see all the water. You can't really tell, but it's absolutely soaked. Didn't seem to be phased by it. Camera's still here on the setup, and the shots actually look sick. I added Greg in frame as well to fill in the negative space. We're going to head back to the car now because we need to charge up the drone controller. But after that, we're going to come back out and then we're going to check out a few more frames and get some more cool shots. Because this forest just looks so sick. Whenever you add any kind of light in the mist, it looks amazing. Okay, so a lot of time has passed now. Obviously it's pitch black. We actually went back to the car to charge up the controller. We've got it to 20%. Whilst we were doing that, we also realised that the Milky Way was literally like really strong. So we shot some astro stuff and I'll ping that on now. However, we've come back to the forest. It's not anywhere near as foggy as it was, but Cam is going to do another frame with a different tree. And we're going to get the drone up now with the remaining 20% of the controller. So yeah, I'm just going to ping it up above the tree, and hopefully these shots should look pretty cool even without the mist. But yeah, let's just see what it looks like. We've got the drone here going directly above that tree. You can't really see the tree very well, but it's literally circling. And then we've got the setup down here on this tripod. Just completely flying around. Wow.
It's so foggy.
No, you can't see the tree.
I literally can't see the tree.
Bloody hell. Now that was close. The drone literally just auto-landed by itself. Alright, so we've just finished up. We did cam shot, but the fog actually did come in the end, so I think that shot looked really cool. He's going to go away and edit that, and then after that, Greg did another shot. We didn't use the drone because the drone just completely ran out of battery and it just self-landed. So we were quite lucky it didn't land on a tree, but we backlit the tree with a lume cube and like a light bar and stuff, and Greg did a really cool shot. So yeah, I'm gonna go back now, edit all the shots, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, sweet, so here we are, coming back in the office. And I say it like that because I think in all the years that I've been making these little videos, posting them on YouTube every now and then, I've never really shown you guys sort of the setup that I use or where I work. And that is really because I haven't really had anywhere consistently to work from that's been worth showing you. But I've moved into this new place now and I've put a bit of work into this, so I thought it was worth showing you guys. It's not complete yet. You have to excuse the really bad lighting I've got going on at the moment. It is far from complete, but I think I might show you what I'm working with so far. So this is like the more notable area. We've got most of my gear here. So we'll start at the top. This is like miscellaneous stuff. We've got a film camera, phone, GoPros, 7200, plant. Then down here we've got all my lenses. If we go even further down, we've got the FPV drone and controllers. Then we just got tripod, film camera, and my DJI Mini 3 Pro. I've got a little tripod down there too. Now, the sort of main area where all the work goes down is over here on the desk and the setup. So I've currently got, I switch between computers, but this is my laptop hooked up to my ViewSonic monitor, and I have like a wireless keyboard and mouse which I operate with. And then the one thing that I want to tell you guys about that I recently got is this standing desk here. Now, I've never been one to use a standing desk. I don't know if you guys are or if you use them, but I recently got my hands on it and I've been using it a lot. So I want to show you guys a little bit about what it does. So if we come over here, it's from a brand called Made Site for anyone interested. And I'm also going to peel this off because I've actually been waiting for the video so I can specifically peel this off. That's like the final piece of the puzzle, but currently it is in the sitting mode, as you can see. But if you press 1, you can kind of like tune it to how you want it. So I've tuned it to the height I want and working. And I actually use the standing element a lot more than I thought I would. To be honest, I probably use it over 50% of the time. And I really like it. I feel a lot more productive when I'm stood up, especially when editing. I like kind of being stood on my feet, and it just kind of helps me get into that workflow. So yeah, this is the desk here, and I'll show you guys a few little features which I quite like. It's got like a little USB on the side so you can charge all your devices. You can also set it to any height that you want, sitting or standing, and it comes in a really nice finish. One thing that I love working with is having a candle on the table. I really like that. It kind of helps to set the vibe. And I will say that the lighting, the pink and blue, it's not really my favorite. It's just the best I could do with in this situation. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how we go about editing one of those photos from Madeira, from the forest. So I'm gonna open up Lightroom shortly and show you guys exactly how I go about doing that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this into standing mode because that's just how I prefer to do my editing now. I never used to, but ever since getting this, that's just what I really like doing. And we're gonna go ahead and open up Lightroom. For anyone wondering, they can, if they're interested in this desk, they can. I'll leave a little link in the description, as well as a list of all my other gear. But yeah, let's not waste any more time, and let's just get straight into editing this picture. Alright, so here we are. This is the final image that I ended up with in Madeira, my favourite one. So as you can see, we've got Greg over on the right hand side here. We've got the foreground on the left, tree in the middle, and then we have the halo above the image. It's not the perfect halo, but I'm going to show you how we can go about correcting that, making it look a lot nicer later on in Photoshop. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to come down to the bottom and just enable profile corrections. This essentially just lets Lightroom know what setup you're using and to make the relevant corrections. It doesn't always make a big difference, but I just like to do it. And so we were using the Sigma 14-24mm, a lovely sharp lens, perfect for this situation, nice and wide. So typically I just use one of my presets just to get like a base of colors. So I think, where is it? I think Green Gram was the one I wanted to use. It's got the perfect colors. We just need to make a few adjustments to correct it. So first of all, I'm gonna increase the exposure just to reveal a bit more detail. Not too much, because as you can see, it's kind of blown out the halo, but what we can do to counter that is simply just bring down the highlights so we can reveal a lot more detail of the actual halo. I'm also gonna increase the shadows ever so slightly and bring down the contrast a little bit. I'm also gonna up the clarity. Clarity is one that you've got to be careful with because it can either make or break an image, but I personally love playing with clarity because I think it really helps make the image a lot sharper, and in this situation at night especially, that's when I think it is most best used. So I'm going to come down to the tone curve and bring down these shadows a bit just to sort of neutralize everything, so it was looking a bit too flat and faded as it was. And I'm going to leave it like that, and then I'm going to come down to our colors. So I'm going to play with the blues a little bit. A lot of this stuff down here is literally just dragging sliders back and forth until you have a color that you're happy with. But I am pretty happy with that. I think the greens are a little bit strong, so I'm going to bring down the saturation a bit. But I'm also going to up the luminance. You can see the luminance makes a big difference on the grass down here. And I like it very punchy, so I'm going to bring that up so it pops a little bit more. And to be honest with you, I can't see there being too much more we need to do here. If we hit L on the keyboard, we can kind of separate the image and get a good before and after, and wow, that has made a big difference in a very short amount of time. You can see here we've got a very dark, flat image, and we've just popped it with all sorts of color and brightness. So I think right now I'm gonna right click on this and we're gonna bring it into Photoshop to make a few more adjustments. So once we do that, Photoshop has kindly opened up our canvas for us with our image. And if we hit Command J on the keyboard, that is going to duplicate the layer for us and then we can go ahead and make some adjustments. Now, in terms of correcting this circle here, the way that I would do this is that I would hit M on the keyboard and make a selection of the circle, leaving plenty of space around the edges. Then I would hit Command J on the keyboard, and this will create a brand new layer of the circle. I'm going to hit Command T, and essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the whole thing horizontally, and I'm going to basically take this good side here and basically mask it over this side. So if we come down to our layer mask icon here, make sure that is clicked, make sure that this white box is clicked, and then we're going to hit B on our keyboard, and we're simply just going to brush away all of this irrelevant stuff over here, get rid of that, and you can see how slowly the circle is merging into the other one. And if we do it ever so slightly, making sure that we don't do anything wrong. If, for example, I happen to just go like that and ruin it, it's not over, it's not ended. We can just hit X on the keyboard and we can just brush that back in. That's the beauty of using something like the masking tool. So yeah, that is a pretty neat and quick way of correcting things like that. That's before and that is after. It's a really quick and neat way. I'm just gonna brush over here to make sure that it is perfectly blended, and I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to hit Command S on the keyboard, and that is going to save our changes, and hopefully in a few seconds in Lightroom it should automatically update. I'm hoping in 3, 2, 1. Lightroom has saved up all the changes from Photoshop, and it has brought the final image back here into our final thing. So if we go over to what it looked like before, we were looking at something like that, and then we've made it into this, and this is the final image. And I'm very happy with how it looked like. So if you did find this video useful, I would really appreciate any feedback on the video, or if you could leave a like or drop a comment, that would really help me out. I'm sorry that I've been a little bit infrequent with the videos recently, but I will do my best to get more videos out. And if you guys have got any suggestions, feel free to let me know what type of videos that you want to see. I know that there's a lot of new faces around here who have recently subscribed to the channel. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in the desk, I'll leave a link in the description. It's an amazing desk, and I've incorporated it fully into my workflow. And yeah, that is it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.